Hello lovely viewers, I'm here to tell you a dramatic chapter of my life today. I'm a 37 years old male and my wife Cara is 35 years old female. Cara and I first met at our local bar, where she was with her boyfriend, wearing a white jumper suit and looking stunning. I was staring at her. I knew she was with a guy, but she was so stunning that I couldn't help but stare. I wanted to talk to her, I wanted to sit with her, and I felt jealous of the guy she was with. When Cara came up to the counter at the bar to refill her drink, I said hello to her and she smiled at me, which her boyfriend noticed, and he began shouting at me, calling me a harasser, and took a glass from Cara's hand and broke it on the table, causing quite a stir at the bar. Everyone stared at us, and when he continued to yell at me, I lost control and hit him. Cara began crying, and her boyfriend was about to strike me back, but Cara stopped him to avoid any disturbance. Luckily, no one called the cops, and Cara departed with her boyfriend. The bartender was a friend of mine, and when I questioned him about Cara, he told me she was a less popular model and a social media influencer and she was new to town. I went home that night and began searching for Cara on Instagram. She had 50,000 followers, and she appeared more dazzling in her photos. I noticed she hadn't posted any images with her boyfriend. I decided to drop her a message. I wasn't sure if she'd respond, but I apologized for what had happened at the bar. Cara responded the next day, saying it was okay and that her boyfriend Scott had anger issues and that this was not the first time he caused the scene like this. I was thrilled at her reply and I told her she deserved better. She said that she had gotten stuck in this toxic relationship with Scott, so I consoled her and invited her for coffee. She declined my invitation, but I refused to accept no for an answer. I truly wanted to meet her, so I kept asking her for a month. After a month, she informed me her boyfriend Scott was going on a business trip and she could meet me for coffee. I was thrilled. We met at a coffee shop. This time Cara was wearing a black sleeveless top with a jeans. She was looking magnificent. I kept complimenting her on how lovely she was and how her boyfriend didn't deserve her while we ordered coffee and talked about our interests and hobbies. Cara laughed at my comments and asked whether I was single. I told her yes, I was available for her, and I confessed about my feelings for her. Cara told me she couldn't leave her boyfriend Scott because he had anger issues and he was potentially harmful. I assured her that as long as she was with me, I didn't care about anything else. And so we began dating secretly without her boyfriend's knowledge. We were cautious and didn't want to cause chaos. Cara had planned to break up with Scott, but she didn't want to shock him, so she wanted to take her time. But one day, Cara and I were dining in a restaurant when her boyfriend Scott caught us and started beating me. I was attempting to calm him down when he slapped Cara, and when he hit Cara I lost control and punched him. The cops arrived, and Scott and I were both assessed a fine. But I was relieved that we no longer had to hide our relationship and that we could date openly. But a few days later Cara phoned me. She was sobbing uncontrollably, telling me that her boyfriend Scott was blackmailing her and that he could ruin her career, and that we should marry to protect her from defamation. I was obsessed with Cara, and I wanted to marry her the first day we met, so I instantly said yes to marrying her. And we both married after few months of dating. My mother was not prepared for my unexpected wedding. She didn't like Cara's work or her glamorous background. She wanted me to marry a simple girl, but when I told her I loved Cara, she accepted my decision and helped plan my wedding. Cara looked stunning in a sophisticated white gown at our wedding, and numerous Instagram pages shared our wedding photos. She had never posted photos of her ex-boyfriend before since he was neither aesthetically pleasing or handsome, but because I was handsome, so she shared my images on her Instagram. The first few years of our marriage were lovely. We traveled to Italy, France, and the Netherlands for our honeymoon, but instead of having fun and being present to create memories with me, Cara kept on filming everything. She had to make reels and videos wherever we went. I told her it was our honeymoon and we needed to spend time together, but she insisted that she also needed to post content. It felt like I was working as her photographer on my honeymoon. I had to capture hundreds of her photos on different destinations, then she would spend hours in editing videos and making reels. I was lonely on my honeymoon. She only needed me when she had to capture me as a prop in her pictures. All of it was making me annoying, but I was controlling myself. I wanted to throw her phone and cameras, but since it was our honeymoon I was cooperating with her and smiling with her in pictures. When we returned from our honeymoon, life had returned to normal. I had to rejoin my office, but there was no routine life for Cara. She had to live an extravagant life every day in order to flaunt it on Instagram. I was aware of her lifestyle, but I had no idea about how deeply involved she was in it. She got everything in sponsorship, even her toothpaste was sponsored by some brands. I had no privacy even at home. She had to post everything. Even when we ate breakfast she had to record videos of it to publish on social media. I had become a famous Instagram husband and gained followers because of her. All of my coworkers recognized her and commented on her photographs that I didn't like. One day, Cara posted a picture in a cropped top and skirt, and my male colleague wrote some unacceptable remarks on it. And I felt disrespected and angry, so I went to the office next day and hit that colleague, and as a result of this action, I lost my job. Despite the fact that every man in my situation would do the same, Cara blamed me, telling me that she was a public figure and that people could comment on her images, but as a husband. It was about my honor and respect, but finally, with the help of a friend, I was able to acquire a job again. I was receiving brand deals on Instagram as well, but I didn't want to make it my sole source of income. I wanted to keep my real job so that I could meet people on a regular basis, whereas Cara only knew people on Instagram. She wouldn't meet anyone for days. She just kept making content and videos and posted on Instagram. She was showing the fake lifestyle to her followers. He would only go on a shoot or event once a month. Otherwise, she mainly created her own videos. In the evening when I returned from work we would go to the dinner, as Cara wouldn't like to cook and I didn't have time for cooking. I used to cook 2-3 times a week and Cara called me a worst cook ever, so we would eat out or order something even though I preferred home-cooked meals. I had food poisoning from eating fast food and restaurants every day, and I was in a worse state, looking pale and ill. And Cara went live on Instagram to show her followers how ill I was and how she was taking care of me even though she didn't even bother to bring me a glass of water and medicines. My childhood friend came to take care of me while Cara was busy in shooting videos. I felt that my privacy was being violated. When you are ill you don't want people to see you in that bad state, yet Cara posted my videos online while I was in bed and her followers commented on how unattractive I appeared in those videos that she took when I was sick, as she always had to post everything online, and when I saw those comments, I was taken aback. I requested Cara to delete my awful photographs, and she began calling me insecure. I was sick and dealing with an online bully, and when Cara called me insecure, I couldn't keep my cool. I pushed Cara and she fell on the floor. Thankfully she was okay and she pushed me back.
Our disputes had evolved into physical fights and Cara was threatening me that she would publish on social media about these fights and how I raised my hands on her despite the fact that she pushed me back as well, but I was shameful of my actions. I was ashamed of treating her harshly and pushing her, so I treated her so kindly. I made her favorite meal, I assisted her in shooting her videos. And I planned a surprise trip to California for her so that we could start over and forget about our differences. We were happy once again. We came back from our trip and Cara's work fashion week events had started. She was super busy and she wanted me to go with her, and I attended 2 events with her, but I found those events boring and I couldn't go all week to those events, so Cara started going alone. I was relaxing at home on Thursday night while Cara was at a fashion event. I was bored, so I decided to check Instagram. I was viewing posts from various influencers, and in one story, I noticed Cara's ex-boyfriend Scott with her. I assumed it was probably just my imagination, but after seeing posts from other influencers, I realized I was right and Scott was actually there with Cara. I was startled and lost control of my anger. Cara believed that because I wasn't active on social media, I wouldn't know about her secret meetup with her ex-boyfriend. So I took my car out of the garage and drove there to catch Cara in the middle of it. I knew the location of the event because I had attended a few events with Cara. And I had entrance passes because I gained a lot of followers on my own profile, so I was invited as well, but because I disliked these types of events, I chose not to go. When I arrived at the event's location, I parked my car and entered. A short while later, I saw Cara there with her ex-boyfriend Scott. They were sitting close together. And Cara was so preoccupied with Scott that she failed to notice me. I wanted to punch them both. But I decided to record enough videos of them so I would have proofs. Then I made the decision to go live on Instagram, so I proceeded nearer Cara's seat. When she saw me, she became pale since she wasn't expecting me and didn't realize that I was live, and everyone on social media could see Cara and Scott sitting so closely to one another. Scott began ranting as usual when I shared the live Instagram with everyone on social media about how I had caught my wife with her ex-boyfriend, but Cara begged me to forgive her. However, when I posted videos of her betrayal and disloyalty publicly on Instagram, everyone was startled because Cara was portraying herself as the best wife online. And her followers believed that we were the most ideal couple because she frequently shared advice on how to have a successful marriage and a happy marital life. And those videos with her ex-boyfriend had shown her true face to the world. Her followers were condemning her, calling her a liar, fake and disloyal. Cara was so mad, and she was not used to receiving hateful comments, so she deactivated her Instagram account update. I contacted a divorce attorney and served Cara with divorce papers. I also emailed Scott screenshots of those messages in which Cara told me how toxic Scott was and how she never shared Scott pictures online because she felt he was ugly. Scott became so enraged after seeing those screenshots that he abandoned Cara once more and has been threatening her about some money issue. Cara is mad at me, but she has been begging me to forgive her since that's the only way for her to regain her reputation on social media and to save her career, as the proofs of her disloyalty is all over the social media. But I have blocked her number. I am sick of her fakeness and deception. I've sought my revenge. Cara's career is over and I am becoming famous on Instagram, but I have learned a lot from what happened to me, so I don't give much importance to social media fame because it's usually artificial and temporary. I can't make it the entire purpose of my life as Cara did, and when people found out about her betrayal, they cancelled her immediately. She lost a lot of followers. Sponsors stopped giving her deals because they don't want to be linked with her. She got terrible comments. And she had to remove her social media accounts, so I don't want this kind of life for myself. So no matter how many followers I gain, I cannot devote my entire life to creating content and videos. It turns out my mother was correct about attractive things not always being valuable, or things that appear beautiful and shiny can be artificial or deceiving. Thanks for sticking with me until the end of this video. Please remember to click the subscribe button and like this video. Every single one of you means the world to me. And I appreciate you all very much. Don't forget to add your opinions and recommendations in the comment section below.